is vlog number 14.
14. And we have on matching shirts.
And they say, you ain't never
I'm
had
doing this
a
friend like me. Let me lean forward because mine a little.
The little teacup. I know you'll see the little teacup. So these shirts were made by Impressed Custom Printing. And she is based out of Atlanta, Georgia. She is a good friend of ours. Her name is Tara
Martin. It was Ville.
Yeah,
She's married. I know, we're so used to it. Tara Martin and her wonderful husband, Q. Why did I say Q? Quentin. I was going to say Quincy. It's a lot going on. So Tara Martin and Quentin Martin make these shirts. They're so good. The turnaround is
rapid. El Rapido.
I'm talking about faster than your homegirl at Iguana.
Faster than you can say blink twice.
Faster than Trump tweets.
That's fast.
Shouts out to Tara. Thank you for our shirts. We got the shirts to go see Aladdin, and we never saw Aladdin.
But we love them.
Yeah,
we love our shirts. And we thank you so much for them.
Ooh.
So today, we want to jump right in.
Jump in.
We're going to talk about expectations. All of us have them. We all have expectations.
We do. From people, from
places,
things.
Yeah. So, let's talk about it.
Let's get into it.
I expect people to be exactly who they're going to be. Whoever that is, whatever that is, however that is. But the one thing I can tell you is that if I'm being honest with you, being loyal to you, I kind of sort of want that back in return. You know, I want the law of reciprocity to abide, and I want you to be honest as possible with me. That's what I want. I'm not saying I'm gonna get it, but that's what I would like to happen.
As far as people, I don't expect anything. I can say I don't expect anything. I have expectations. I want people to be great. I want people to keep their word. But I am often disappointed by people because people are fickle.
And that's what, you know, it's a saying that says no expectation, no disappointments. But we all get disappointed when people that we love or people that, you know, we're constantly doing things for don't live up to, you know, a certain standard.
Now, here is the thing that we want to talk about as far as expectations when it comes to people, because we're going to touch on people. We're going to touch on our jobs and stuff, which would be the places, and then we're going to touch on things. But as far as people, the truth is certain people in your life you should have expectations for, because if you don't, then you're stuck with whatever they have left over.
Yeah, and it's like blah. Like, that's all you got for me? But you didn't expect anything. You didn't tell me anything. What were your requirements? And I think that gives a person a little more oomph too when you tell them, hey, this is what I'm expecting. Now, if I don't tell you anything, I can't penalize you for what you don't know. That's just like with the Bible.
Yeah.
We're not penalized for the things that we don't know. Oh, I didn't read that. It's like somebody told me that. No, but I need to read that for myself. And then I become accountable. Yeah. So those things.
And you have to have expectations for people. The same person who made the shirts, Tara Martin, she told me once when she was going through this massive relationship breakup with her first love, that one big thing that hindered her was she left a gray area. And it was this like, well, if I didn't say it to him, if I didn't want it from, like, you know, really voice my opinion, how can I be mad if I don't get it? Exactly. And that is the truth. Because a lot of times when you don't have expectations for people, it's usually because you don't want them to get mad. With women, you don't want to be tagged as an Aggie woman. With men, you don't want to seem like a clingy man, you know, or just people in general. You don't want to seem like somebody who always needs, who, you know, a needy person.
We're a needy people.
Yeah, we are.
We need tangible things. We need tangible people.
And people need people.
And these people are placed in the world
life
to be just that. We all need somebody to call when we get down on a rough time, to just listen. Somebody to just say, hey, it's going to be okay. We need that. We say we don't, and people are like, oh, well, I was born by myself, I'm going to leave it by myself. But you don't want to be alone. Ultimately, I don't believe that nobody wants to be alone. Circumstances and situations happen where you feel like you are alone. So you put on this demeanor and you put on this mask and say, you know what? I can be alone. Yeah, you can be alone, but do you really want to be alone?
Are you happy? I don't think anybody really wants to be alone. I don't think anybody really feels comfortable like that. Everybody needs at least one person.
Now I know how to be alone.
Yeah,
I know how to be alone, and I enjoy my own company. But let's not get to the point where you enjoy your company too much.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you have to get out. You have to be able to interact with the outside world and not just be like you're a hermit, because sometimes then you get lost in your own thoughts and you're home too much, or you're not talking to people.
You know, people usually do that because they don't want to be disappointed. And that's when
they don't want to be looked upon a certain way. Because sometimes you can come off a certain way and you don't want people to be, you don't want to be judged. But you're being judged by being home. Alone. Is she crazy? Is she a hermit or whatever? So no matter what.
One thing about expectations with people that I feel is very important is to have them, but make sure you have healthy expectations.
And make sure you can live up to the expectations that you're requiring from other people.
Don't ask anybody for something
that you're not willing to give. And I think a lot of times we do that. We do it a lot in relationships. We be like, well, I want him to have a fancy car. Do you have a fancy car? I want him to make 6 or 7 figures.
Do you have 6 or 7?
No, you don't. So you're requiring somebody to not match you, but just overdo it. And then it's like, if this person ups and leaves you, not to say you should dream big. I want you to dream big. The thing about it is, make sure if this person decides to up and leave you, you're able to take care of yourself the same way that person would say. Because that's a lot of times, even in marriages, that's why people, you're filing injured spouse now. And I can say that. I've been divorced. I've been divorced before, and people go out for alimony is because when I met you, I didn't have this, but then I got accustomed to a certain life. No, you should still be able to be accustomed to a certain lifestyle on your own. If that person, it doesn't work out with you and that person.
Realistic
it's crazy.
Healthy expectations. Human expectations. A lot of times our expectations.
Fantasy world.
Fantasy, out of these world expectations, and it's just not true. You know what I've been seeing, speaking of expectations from people. Tell me you guys have seen, I really don't remember the lady name. I think it's Eddie Murphy's ex-wife or something.
Oh, yeah.
So
I heard about the whole
cheating
thing.
with the husband and everything. And there's this big thing going on the internet about how her husband had the right to step out because
of her weight.
The other woman. What kind of
Listen, let me tell you something. When you are in a marriage, you're gonna watch that person go from small to big, from having all black hair or Beijing to all the gray hairs, to all the gray hairs, and you need to love every part of their growing spouse, because that's what marriage should be about. That's what love should be about. Me seeing you change, because that's the only thing that's constant in the world. We are bound to change.
How do you expect some? Well, now the truth is, some people, you see those couples that work out together all the time. I keep my body up. I expect you to keep.
But this is the thing. Why did she get overweight? Why did she get overweight? If she had someone there, if it was something that he didn't like, this is a thing. If it was something that I knew my husband didn't like, how did it get so overboard and so over the line to the point where you felt like it was okay for you to step out with this lady, kiss this lady in public, knowing that this could possibly get back to your wife, who is now, quote unquote, overweight? Why did that happen? Why did you say, hey, let's talk about this? What's going on with you? What sent you over the edge? Why are you overeating? Why? What did this weight go? When did it start?
Do you think that he couldn't have for him to step out?
No, he didn't.
He couldn't have said to her,
you didn't say a word.
I expect for my wife to look
to still maintain.
First of all, this is the problem that I had with him. I saw the pictures. He's not small. You're not small, sir.
What your expectation? What are your expectations? I need you to be a size 3 too.
Also, I expect for you to look better than that. Listen to me. I have a problem with people having, especially when it comes to.
We ready for the clap back? Ready for the clap back?
Please,
we welcome
when
it.
When people have an expectation from people and it boils down to appearance, let's look at you.
And that's what we was just talking about that night. Let's make sure we're living up to these expectations.
Child,
you had no reason to do that. You are a liar, and the truth ain't in you.
And it could have been the opposite. It could have been that he liked big woman and she got skinny. Whatever first of all, you
should have talked to that lady first and not embarrassed her in front of the world. And Nicole, you dead wrong.
You dead wrong.
I don't care
how
if he was going through something with his wife or whatever. You should stay out of that.
And then people want to say, "Oh, y'all hating on her because
no, we not hating on her because she's a repeated offender." We had a vlog about that, and she's a habitual line stepper.
Did she kiss?
No, she did it to Lisa Ray's husband.
I don't have time.
Yes, Lisa Ray, and I'm clapping up for Lisa Ray. She had something to say about it.
Let's stop it, Nicole. Stop it. Let me tell you, Nicole, you only doing it to these red balls. You come out here.
No, but I'm the wrong red ball.
You come out here with a little chocolate drop. I bet you won't go touch Barack Obama. Michelle got them hands for you, Nicole. Sit your pine cone head ass down somewhere.
Not pine cone.
Let's keep going.
Expectations. You made me mad, Nicole. You dead wrong.
Nicole, we have an expectation. We expect for you to sit your pine cone head ass down.
That's what we have. Several. We got seats lined up for you to sit in.
Girl,
and not sitting on no man either.
Ooh.
Sit on the chair, the hard, cold chair that you belong on.
Nicole, oh girl, this the wrong vlog.
Anyways, let's move on because we don't gave you too much time.
Too much.
But expectations in a relationship. I expect for you to tell me exactly what you need from me. So if I don't live up to the expectations, I already know. Mm-hmm. You told me this is what you want, this, that, and the third. And then you need to give me room if these things that you're expecting from me, if I don't have them all together at a certain time, give me some time
to do it.
And if you're expecting something like just over the top, magical, some type of magical, what is it called? Broom ride? What is it? Aladdin?
Oh yeah,
Aladdin
the
ride.
magical carpet.
Yeah, the magical carpet ride. If you're expecting something like that, you just might not get it.
You know what I say? A lot of people. I used to make sure when I was like talking to guys and stuff that I didn't become interested or fall in love with potential, because potential.
Mm-hmm.
And people,
it never meets up with what they. We all have potential, but are you really gonna do that? You have the potential to be a millionaire, but I don't see them coins.
Yeah,
but
potential will trick you now.
Yeah, and
potential will be like, oh, he or she or they have the potential to be this type of person. So I expect for this relationship to evolve into this. You gotta love, be with. Tolerate people for who they are.
Yeah, and who they showing you. Because half of the time, who they showing you, that's what they want you. No, but that's what they want you to see. Yeah, that's what they want you to know.
Oh, somebody's knocking at our door.
One moment.
It's Asher's husband. Okay. So, let's keep going. We talked about expectations with relationships. We talked about expectations with relationships. The next type of expectation we want to talk about is in a place. Your career, your home, your church, your community. Expectations for things in different places. What are they? What do you expect? And Asher and I were talking. She's back.
I'm back.
Asher and I were talking right before the vlog, talking about expectations in places. And we definitely said you have to put something into it to get out of it. You can't have an expectation for you to become the CEO of a company if you're not putting in that work.
Yeah, if you're not putting in the work like a CEO would put in, like you have to stay there hours that people are gone.
Yeah.
You have to put in more hours than the people that are just laborers,
Or if you're at church, you can't expect for your pastor word on Sunday to keep your life safe.
No, that's an everyday thing.
Yeah, you gotta have realistic expectations no matter where you are. What were we singing? Oh, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
You gotta have something
if you wanna be.
No,
the truth is, especially, and I think you gotta make sure your expectations
are realistic
and that they match the place that you're in. Because you can be in a low level job and know that job is only going to be that. No shade, but not low level. But let's say if you work at McDonald's, you have the potential to just be a fry cook, or you have the potential to elevate to corporate at McDonald's. Mm-hmm. It all depends on what they expect from you and what you expect from the situation that you're in. And you have to look at the situation that you're in. You can't go into a situation and go, okay, this job pays me $12 an hour, so I expect by the end of the week for my check to be $1,000. That's a
it's not
smart expectation.
Yeah, and it's not realistic.
Yeah, you really have to pinpoint, and I think it's important for you to decipher things because that's how you create goals. If you know that, okay, this job pays me $12 an hour, but if I work hard enough and I end up in this job, your expectations should change every time you
level up. Yeah,
every time you level up, every time you evolve, the expectation should change. And certain things,
and never think of yourself as too small either, because sometimes we tend to get comfortable with this with the bare minimum, and the bare minimum shouldn't be good for you.
No.
Like, I'm always thinking of what's the next thing I could do. Like, I have this job, and it's not talking about being a jack of all trades and a master of none. We need to master things. We need to make sure that we're good at the things that we do. Not we're just try to be good at the things you do. Like, you got a side hustle and you're working a 9-to-5 job. Be great at let your side hustle be great. She has her sister have a sister egg roll thing.
That's why I look like this guy.
Exactly. I do fish fries sometimes. I have my students. All of those things, and I'm good at all of the things that I decide to do. I do event planning now. I'm good at it when I decide to do it. So if I decide to do a job change, I can execute
what you're doing
effectively and get paid my worth because I'm doing the work.
And
I don't think of it as small when I'm doing it.
And expectations are a good way for you not to get stuck. So last year, we talked about it in previous vlogs that it was my first year teaching at a school.
Right.
And the school, the administration were like, we want you to really go and get certified in this and certified in that so that you can stay a teacher. I didn't expect to stay a teacher for an entire year. I literally went in to sub for somebody for 4 months.
Right.
And I had no other expectation besides that. I planned for 4 months.
Because it wasn't something that you really wanted to do. It wasn't something
that I really wanted to do. But then when the opportunity came for me to level up, true story, I went from a theater class to a 9th grade English class to a 12th grade English class and to a dance class. Every time I had to have a different... Now, the theater class, I had high expectations. That's my major. Of course I did. I had plans. I did this. I did that. But then they competed, all kind of things. When I went into the 9th grade English class, I had to lower my expectations because they wouldn't listen. They was getting on my goddamn nerve. When I went into the senior class, literally, I couldn't even say expectations because they all had senioritis. And then when I got to the dance class at the very end of the year, we did nothing because the kids had already checked out. I'm telling the truth now. Not that I didn't have the training to, because I did. But literally, I could not do anything with them. They were gone. They forgot everything. They tested the last month of school. It was so many things. So I had to be realistic. And I was giving the dancers assignments. Okay, I want you guys to come up with a contemporary piece. Make sure the music has such and such in it. And they would go, anything we want? Yes, I just want the message to be positive. It's something the teacher gave them prior to me coming in.
Right.
And then when I came in, they had to do something with hip hop that was positive. When I came in, I said, okay, I like that idea, but this time I want you to choose your own music. Literally, I could not get them to focus. I literally had to let go of my expectations, have a conversation with them and say, guys, it's the last month of school. Just come check in.
Yeah.
Come check in with me. Let me see you working.
And that's what reality meets expectations. And I keep saying the reality thing is because sometimes we can live in a fantasy world for so long and get hurt by our own fantasies because it's like, it's not real. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is what's going on. It's Folgers and it's not Starbucks. It's Folgers and it's not Starbucks. You know, we have to be able to decipher the difference, and there is a difference between Folgers and Starbucks.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, so we may want the Folgers. That's what we used to. But the Starbucks is what is on the table. So we gotta go with the times. And I think sometimes, like I said, we get complacent with what we know and how it's supposed to be done. And then you get thrown a curveball. Maybe this is how we're gonna do it. And this is how it's gonna go.
You have to be careful with where you're putting those expectations. You got to be careful with it. So that's expectations for places. let's talk about expectations in different things and your finances and
yeah, like I would like. I never wanted to be a millionaire. I always wanted to be comfortable, and I like the sound of wealth.
Yeah.
I never like said like I want to be a millionaire. I would like to be able to go on a trip whenever I say I want to go on a trip. And not be like,
Yeah.
Can my kids go? Is this gonna be just a me and him thing?
Yeah.
I always want to be able to pay my bills on time. Credit card bills,
everything,
car note, all of this. That has always been an expectation for me. And for me to be able to do that, I have to continue to work hard, to dream big, to work big.
Yeah. I expect to get to the place where I walk into somewhere and say, "Oh, I want that,"
and I can get it,
and not check, but not even
have to check. Yeah,
just not even say, "Do I have the money?" I just want to
or even ask how much it costs. Just put it on the card.
I want that, and I will get there if I keep putting the time in. Now, let me ask you, while we're winding down, getting to the end of our vlog, what do you expect from yourself? Do you have expectations for yourself?
I do have expectations for myself. I expect from myself to every day try a little bit harder than the day before. I expect for myself to love on me a little harder than the day I did before. Every day I set an expectation for myself to be happy from any little thing that that could possibly make my day. I expect things for myself that I won't expect from anybody else because I am the one that starts off with me in the day and that ends with me in the day. So what I expect myself to do is when people see me, they see who I really am. I expect myself to be loyal to me first before I can even exude loyalty to anybody else. And like I said from the beginning, like loving myself, I feel like everything else kind of follows suit. It's like a domino effect after that. I expect me to love on me daily so that people can see it and they can feel it when they come around me. So it's not a second guess thing. Like, is she the type of person I want to be around? I already expect me to be a good person. So the expectation, I don't have to say, hey, I need you to be loyal to me. I need you to love on me. Yeah. It'll exude. So that's basically my expectation for myself.
I got to answer the question? Okay.
Yes,
let's see what I expect for myself. This is a daily thing for me. I know for a fact that I have two sides. I have a very annoyingly positive, I can do it, driven side, and then I have a side that can be really angry and bitchy. That's the God's honest truth about me.
Right.
If you know me, 9 times out of 10, you have never seen the angry or bitchy side, unless you know me, and you've been there. So every day I expect for myself to find the loop to make myself annoyingly positive, even the days where I can't. I expect
and just speak good things in your atmosphere.
And even when I don't feel good things, I expect that. I know for a fact that within myself, I go through levels of emotion.
Right.
I expect that for myself at all times. I spent a lot of years trying to go, I'm not too emotional.
But then you said I'm emotional. Right.
And I expect for me to go through levels of emotion. I even have like pinpointed the times of year where I know I'm gonna, around the holidays I get iffy because I miss my mom. In August I get iffy, my mom's birthday is Sunday. August I have very up and down days. During the summer I go through a real mental thing, and usually when we get to like Christmas and all of those things, I find some reason to be, I expect
because
those
it's around your birthday.
But I expect for myself to be honest enough with myself. I expect myself to be, I have to be honest with myself.
That's a really, really good thing.
Yeah.
If you can be honest with yourself, and it reminds me of If.
Yeah.
By Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah.
That if you can keep your head when all about you are losing, there's I kind of live by that.
Yeah.
Because it's true. It's a good one because it teaches you about yourself.
Yeah, it does.
And it reminds you of, if you can do all of these things while people are expecting things from you.
Yeah.
And you know, like, even when you know you're going to fall, even when you're expected to fall, if you can keep your head up.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can make it through.
Yeah, you can make it through.
But my number one thing of expectation from me is love. It does not matter what you do to me. It does not matter what I do to myself. And a lot of times,
do not stop loving.
You can't stop. You gotta find a reason. I don't care if a person is the nastiest person to you. You gotta look at the person and go, you know what? I actually really love how talented you are. I have somebody right now in my life. Every time I see them, it hurts me. She knows this guy's on the shoe. Mm-hmm. Every time I see him, it hurts me. But the one thing I could go is like, that's a really talented person. Mm-hmm. I remember that person when we were kids. I remember the conversations we had, and that's the only thing that keeps hatred out of my heart. I expect myself to love.
Love unapologetically. Is that the word? Unapologetically.
Yeah.
Love unapologetically. Expect that from yourself.
Expect it.
So that you can utilize it in your everyday
Even
walk.
yourself. When you're wrong, when you do wrong, when you
love
sin,
yourself no matter what.
When
love
you're
all
embarrassed,
of you.
all of you. Even when you're embarrassed, even when I have the lowest self-esteem moments, I'll stop and go, you pretty though.
Yeah.
You can't nobody tell you. That hair pretty. Mm-hmm. You smell good. Look at that gap. But who gonna tell you ugly?
Right.
Love yourself. Have those expectations. Find out what you expect from yourself and let that bleed into what you expect out of things, out of places, and out of people.
Right.
And you'll be good.
This is vlog number 14. Remember to like, share, and comment. Follow us on social media, all of the social media outlets. We're on IG as Makiba Grace _
I'm shooting a vlog.
I said _. We're Makiba Grace on Facebook, right? And we are what are we?
I'm barely
making it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So follow us. Tell us what you want to talk about, and we'll go live soon again, right?
Yeah. They had a real vlog today. We had a knock at the door, phone call.
All types of things going on.
Love y'all.
Love yourself.